Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a video about Luckin Coffee. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to drop a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investing journey together. So today I'm going to be talking about Luckin Coffee, kind of doing a stock update on Luckin Coffee and some recent news that actually happened with Luckin Coffee as well. If you guys don't know what Luckin Coffee is, it's essentially a coffee company that's based out of China, set to rival Starbucks. It was growing a lot at first, guys. You have to understand that this thing, looking at the 5-year chart, that this thing was a $50 stock at one point, and it got hit with accounting fraud. Muddy Waters issued basically a research report saying that Luckin Coffee was fabricating a lot of their sales, which later turned out to be true. Luckin Coffee was in fact fabricating a lot of their sales. A lot of people ended up selling the stock. It lost a lot of its big-time investors. Although we don't actually know how much of the sales were actually fabricated, that actually has not been released yet. They do have updated financials actually ready to go, but they have not been released to the public. Overall, the thing is with Luckin Coffee, a lot of people are not bullish on Luckin Coffee anymore just because it got hit with the whole accounting fraud. I just want to let you guys know that my point on Luckin Coffee, or my bullish sentiment on Luckin Coffee, it's still up. It's still running, and it's still making money. I know companies can recover from fraud. Overall, Wells Fargo, General Electric, all of these companies who committed fraud, they're doing pretty okay for themselves. Luckin Coffee, as far as I know, is still in business. It's still running. They have operating stores, and they're kind of back on track to get everything back on the road. But we actually found out a couple of days ago that Luckin Coffee, or in China, Luckin Coffee got hit with a $9 million fine, which is honestly nothing, to be honest. I actually expected the fines to be a lot worse. A lot of people were talking about that they're going to get fined and they're going to, have a huge fine and deal with lawsuits and investors, but it only actually ended up being about $9 million. When you're looking at Luckin Coffee's overall growth and its market cap, $9 million is actually nothing, to be honest. I actually thought it was going to be a lot worse, and a lot of people were actually pretty happy when they saw that, making the stock actually do pretty okay, and it actually did rally up a little bit when the news came out, because a lot of people were expecting like a lot bigger of a lawsuit, a lot bigger of fines and stuff like that. But $9 million for a company, with 6,000 stores that are operating, one of the biggest coffee chains in China, set to rival Starbucks in its own, got slapped with a $9 million fine. It actually did not really do much for the stock. Overall, I still think Luckin Coffee is a decent investment. The reason I say this is, yes, I know it got hit with accounting fraud, and I know it lied to investors and stuff like that, but, they're still up. They're still expanding. Yes, it's been through a lot, but honestly, Luckin Coffee at this point, there's nothing else that this company can actually go through except bankruptcy, which I don't think it's going to happen. They already got fined. They got delisted from NASDAQ and all of this stuff. Everything bad that's happened to Luckin Coffee has already happened. So I honestly don't see it getting worse from here. So that's why I actually am pretty bullish on Luckin Coffee. I know it's going to take a long time for the stock to actually recover. I know it's going to take a long time for Luckin Coffee to gain its trust back from investors and big-time investors, and for the overall brand of Luckin Coffee. The name is pretty tarnished as we speak, but overall, I still do think Luckin Coffee, in my personal opinion, is a good investment. Like I said, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal recommendation. But the reason I think Luckin Coffee is a very good buy is just because it's already been through it all. And basically all that's left for the stock to do is basically recover from here. As long as they're still doing business, as long as they still have stores up and running, I will probably still hold my shares for Luckin Coffee. Although the minute I hear any bankruptcy stories, or I actually said that the company is going bankrupt, I would probably sell my positions. I don't like dealing with bankrupt companies. But all in all, I'm still waiting for Luckin Coffee updated financials. I want to see how the company's actually doing. I want to see how the company was doing before the accounting fraud, before COVID and stuff like that. Because if the business model is profitable, that means Luckin Coffee is actually going to be here to stay for a very long time. If Luckin Coffee was not profitable, that means it probably needs to work out some business issues and stuff like that. But all in all, I still do think Luckin Coffee, is a good buy. And I actually thought the fines were going to be a lot worse. So I guess it ended up being a lot more good news than bad news, in my opinion. Just because, like I said, a lot of people were expecting, these huge fines that were going to be smacked with the company that basically was going to take the company bankrupt. But, $9 million, honestly, is not that much for a big corporation with 6,000 stores that's constantly expanding, known as the biggest coffee chain in China. I think, honestly, it's like $1 to like a regular average Joe. I know that Luckin Coffee does have a decent amount of cash on hand, so that small of a fine is not really going to make that big of a difference on Luckin Coffee in itself. But with that being said, that's all I really have to say about the video, guys. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of Luckin Coffee. Do you guys think Luckin Coffee is worth the investment? Were you guys surprised that they only got fined $9 million? Very curious to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to drop a like, guys. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later.